tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe o. Àwo tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Àwo tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe o. Àwo tèmi mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Mi ò ṣàwo ẹ̀sìn, mi ò ṣàwo èké. Àwo Ifá tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Àwo tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe o. Àwo tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Àwo tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe o. Àwo tèmi mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Mi ò ṣàwo ẹ̀sìn, mi ò ṣàwo ọ̀dájú. Àwo tèmi mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Àní àwo tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe o. Àwo tèmi mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Àwo tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe o. Àwo tèmi mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Mi ò ṣàwo ẹ̀tàn, mi ò ṣàwo èké. Àwo ìfẹ́ tí mo mọ̀ ni mo ṣe. Ìbà Ifá, ìbà Elédùmarè, ìbà onílé, ìbà àlejò. How you dey, my people? Welcome to the Sunday School Sunday T. Yeah, as the Spirit leads, I'm just here to give you guys a little Sunday tea, Sunday school things. This is IFA Sunday School, not church Sunday School, IFA Sunday School. So today on our IFA study in our Sunday school, we'll be looking at some tips from the Bible. Like I always tell you guys, almost all religious scriptures, they are connected to Ifa, because it is from Ifa and from the study of Ifa that they all developed and wrote all those scriptures. So don't be surprised if I'm teaching or preaching from the Bible or from the Hindu scripture or from any other scripture, because they are all knowledges of Ifa that have been scattered everywhere. So as each applies, we will take it from each angle. So today I'll be talking to you from the biblical scripture of Haggai 1 and 2. Haggai chapter 1 and 2 of the Old Testament in the Bible. So when you look at Haggai, it has just 2 chapters. That is chapter 1 and chapter 2. So you can go check it out in your own free time. You get. So in Haggai, it talks about a time in the past in history of Africa. The Africa that the present day refers to as Israel, because it talks about Israel in the Bible. They are referred to Israel in the Bible in this so-called chapter. But in the reality, looking at it from the true perspective, as the story and history of Africa. So these two chapters, this Bible passage of Haggai talks about a time in the past when Africa was being guided by IFA, by Eledumare, and by his prophets to the people of Africa, especially to the people of the place where we call Nigeria today, southwest Nigeria to be specific. So in the time past when they were being guided to go back to their ancestral culture, their ancestral tradition, when they were being guided to go back to their roots, to rebuild their culture, to rebuild their belief, their ancestral belief and ancestral culture. So if you study this Bible passage from the beginning, it talks about how God sent Prophet Haggai to 2 individuals. These individuals are Zerubbabel and Joshua. So these two are the chosen ones in that era of history. In that time, they were the two chosen ones that were called and chosen by Eledumare, by Ifa, to lead the people into rebuilding the Temple of Africa, which is in Jerusalem, that is in southwest of Nigeria, of today's Nigeria, because that has always been the location of the African temple, the temple of Eledumare, where all of Africa used to gather to worship Eledumare in spirit and in truth. So these 2 individuals, the 2 chosen ones in this Bible passage, Zerubbabel, a governor in Judah at the time, and Joshua, who was a prophet. So Haggai was sent by Eledumare to these 2 prophets that they should lead the African people to rebuild their temple, their individual temple, that is the spiritual temple, which is our heart, and the physical temple. The physical temple, which is the location, that is the southwest Nigeria. So it was these 2 individuals, these two chosen ones, that will lead the people to rebuild the temple through the guidance of Eledumare at the time. And if you go through these scriptures, it talks about how in the beginning of this the chapter 1, it talks about how Eledumare is speaking to a guy, telling him that the people, that is the people of Africa, the people of southwest Nigeria, the Yorubas, the Igbos, the Benin, and so on, how they are focused on building houses, making money, living, they are focused on living good physically, but they are not paying attention to building their spiritual temple, which is their heart, and the IFA temple, both the physical temple and the spiritual temple, that is the body, the heart, and the nation. Because the nation as a whole, just like Jerusalem, is the temple, is where the temple is based, the temple of Eledumare. So this chapter talks about how the people are not paying attention to building the spiritual temple of Eledumare, but rather they are all focused on building houses, making money, living good, doing celebrations and all that. And Eledumare in this scripture says that they don't know that ignoring the temple is what is leading them to do all these things they are doing materially in vain. They build houses, but yet they are not covered. They eat, and yet they are not satisfied. They drink, and yet they still continue to feel thirsty, and so on and so forth. Pursuing material gains, and yet they are never satisfied. They make money just to lose it back. They build houses and all these things just so that it will end up to be destroyed. So try and study this Bible passage on your own for better understanding. So what is my point? Where am I driving at? That time in the past is now repeating itself. You are in that time, the reincarnated period of that time. Likewise, do we have the reincarnated people of that time here in this present day? Joshua, Zerubbabel, Haggai, and all of them. And the people generally, the people of Israel, the people of Jerusalem, that is the people of Africa, the people of West Africa, and the people of southern Nigeria. So Jerusalem is southern Nigeria, not only southwest, the whole of South Nigeria, majority of southern Nigeria, comprising of the Igbos, the Yorubas, the Benins, and so on. So my point is, we are in that time again, as it was in the scriptures, that in the later time, even though the temple has been rebuilt, it has been destroyed several times and has been rebuilt several times. But in the later time, if you read that Haggai Bible passage. It says that the temple will be rebuilt in the later times, that is in the end time. And the glory of that temple in the later time will supersede, will be greater than its glory in times past, in former times. So you get one of these times that the temple was rebuilt. When we talk about reality, is when after the slavery in the 15th century, that Africans began to come back to Africa, to rebuild the culture of Africa, to rebuild the African society, where the slaves that were freed, that came back to Africa to rebuild it. Just like in that Bible passage, I said Haggai and Joshua, who are part of those that came back from the slavery, that came back to the land to rebuild it. So at that time, Africans began to come home to different parts of Africa. Likewise, Nigeria. So they rebuilt the African culture and tradition. And this has happened several times, even before this last 400 years of slavery. Africa has been enslaved several times. And at a point in history, they are always going back to their roots. After slavery, after colonization and all that, they are always going back. Just like we have it in this present time too. We've gone through another phase of slavery, colonization, and we are in the last phase, which is neo-colonization. And after this phase, we are meant to go back to our roots, to our culture. It's just like the seasons, different seasons of the year, different seasons of life. Like the Hindu text indicates that there are 4 seasons of life, 4 seasons of existence. They call it the 4 yugas. The Satya Yuga, the Treta Yuga, the Dwapara Yuga, and the Kali Yuga. So these 4 seasons is just like morning, afternoon, evening, night. Just like we have the 4 seasons of the year too. We have spring, summer, fall, and winter. So this is where the idea of the 4 seasons came. So humanity goes through these 4 seasons continuously. So that is why you hear that life is eternal. Human beings are spiritual. They are spiritual beings. Life cannot be destroyed, but can only be transmuted, can only be converted from one form to another. So humanity has continually moved around and within these 4 cycles, from Satya Yuga to Treta Yuga to Dwapara Yuga to Kali Yuga. And each of these seasons lasts for thousands of years, not hundreds, thousands. So we are in the last season, like morning, afternoon, evening, night. As night is the last season of the day, we are in the last season of the life cycle of humanity, of earth, which is the Kali Yuga. And after this Kali Yuga, we'll go back to Satya Yuga. Just like the seasons of the year and the day, morning is always very cool, very good. When you get to the afternoon, you start getting busy, start getting sunny. Evening, you are busy, you've worked, you are tired and all that. And night, it is dark. So night is the darkest hour of the day. That's how we have it in the life cycles too. Kali Yuga, which is the darkest hour, is the darkest cycle of humanity, of life, of earth cycle. So in Kali Yuga, evil surpasses good, and the earth, humanity is ruled by evil, by darkness. So when it gets to Satya Yuga, it is ruled completely by good, by love, by goodness, and by love, by light. When it gets to Treta Yuga, that is the second phase, it is still more of goodness, more of love, and all that. When it gets to the third stage, it is being ruled like almost 50-50. Mixture of good and bad, mixture of light and dark. But when it gets to the last stage, the Kali Yuga, it is mostly and completely, or almost completely ruled by darkness, by evil. This is when the Gentile system reigns, the matrix system reigns abundantly. So that is that time we are in. So after this time, which is getting over, we move to a new cycle, which is a cycle of goodness, a cycle of purity, a cycle of pure love. So this is the cycle where we call the new earth. This is the cycle that is approaching, the new earth, the paradise on earth cycle, the heaven on earth cycle. So that is why I tell you, all of these scriptures, they are all connected. The Hindu scripture that talks about all these yugas and how all these yugas go and how it comes to an end and everything. The Hindu scripture, the Bible scripture, the Islamic scripture, it also talks about the end times and all that. So they all have mutual understanding, one way or the other. But they are all also being manipulated to fit into their religious scam. So all these scriptures are not really about the religion. The religion is only used to control the people through these scriptures. These scriptures are copied from an older scripture, which is a scripture of IFA spirituality. They are all copied from IFA. They are all copied and manipulated. So you get. So in a nutshell, we are back in that time in history that humanity needs to put an end to the darkness cycle, the Kali Yuga cycle. And this will be spearheaded by the chosen ones that Eledumare has chosen to come to lead this revival period, this revival cycle. In the Bible, they call them the two witnesses, which is being led by Joshua and Zerubbabel, together with their counterparts. There were other 140 something thousand chosen ones, according to the Bible. So also in the Hindu scripture, it says that when Kali Yuga is about to end, the chosen one in the Hindu scripture is Kalki. His name is called Kalki. Kalki, which is referred in the Bible scripture as Joshua, and in the Islamic scripture is referred to as Mahdi, Prophet Mahdi. So you see, all these religions, they just give us different translation of the same truth that they manipulate in order to control the people, in order to keep the people away from the ultimate truth. So all this Kalki, all this Mahdi, all this Joshua avatar is still talking about the return of Orunmila. When the time comes to bring light back to the world, it is Orunmila and the other prophets, the other angels, chosen ones, who have always come to lead humanity back to the truth, back to God, back to Eledumare. So all this avatar is still referring to to Orunmila, sorry. Just like the Hindu text, Kalki is the last avatar of God on earth. Just as those that have come before this last avatar of God, Krishna, Buddha, and all the rest. So in the biblical text too, we have Joshua and all the rest that have come before Joshua. And after Joshua, the last avatar was Jesus Christ. It is all still referring to one avatar, one spirit, the spirit of Eledumare that comes to earth in flesh to lead humanity, to guide humanity with love and truth to Eledumare, to the knowledge of Eledumare, in the person of Orunmila. So it is Orunmila that they give all these different translations and all that. So I say all this to say it is time that we all need to start coming together to gain more knowledge about how we can be part of this revival, how we can be part of this liberation journey, how we can be part of this spiritual revival to return Africa back to its originality, to its root. Just as Africa is the hope of the world in returning back to the truth, back to the knowledge, back to the paradise on earth, the Garden of Eden. Africa is meant to lead this revival. But even Africa is still asleep. Africa is still in the dark. So I'm calling you all, my family, friends, my people. I'm inviting you all to join me on this journey. Join me and the other prophets, the end time prophets that have been chosen to lead this revival in this end time period. Join us so that we can walk this path together in reviving Africa, in reviving love, so that together we can all bring about a new earth, paradise on earth, heaven on earth. Because once you are yet to find out your place in this journey of revival, then that means you are yet to discover your destiny. Because all of humanity, all of Africa, everyone, every individual one of us, as much as everyone that wants to be part of the new earth, then we have a part to play in bringing about the new earth. We start from waking ourselves up to the truth by giving love, natural love, unconditional love, a chance back in our life by opening our hearts to love. So, my people, let us wake up to our truth, to our identity, to who we truly are. Imagine all these Bible scriptures that I just talked about Haggai and all this. I'm sure your pastors are not telling you anything about these prophecies. They are not telling you about these prophecies, what it means, what it truly means, how it affects the present generation of humanity. They are not telling you about all this because even they don't understand all these things. Understanding it is not by physical knowledge, but by spiritual knowledge, or by spiritual gift. We are talking about is not because we are intelligent or anything. No. It is because we give ourselves in for spiritual knowledge. We open ourselves to spiritual knowledge, to spiritual purpose, to spiritual truth. That is why we are able to gain access to these deep Akashic records, these deep truth and history about humanity. So it is not by physical intelligence or it is not through the five senses intelligence. You need to open yourself to the truth, to spiritual truth. Open yourself to spiritual knowledge. Pray and ask the ancestors for guidance. This is how you gain knowledge and understand these truths. So even the choosing ones, it is not just you just sit down, you are choosing one, you just sit down and you gain knowledge. No. There is so much work that is done underground that most of you don't know. All these things you hear me talking about, they are not knowledges that I just come by that I just read in a book. Even reading the Bible, if you are not open to some spiritual knowledge and some spiritual gift, you won't understand all these things merely reading the Bible. Even I myself have been reading the Bible for many years, and I didn't understand all these things until recent years, in recent 3-4 years, that I opened myself to my spiritual purpose, my divine purpose. That was when I did all these scriptures and passages, all this knowledge. I began to gain clarity on them. So, my people, please let us join hands to dive into this truth, to understand this truth and know how it affects our lives, and to know what part we are meant to play, because we are all a player in this. If you don't wish to be a player in making the earth a better place, a good place, then you are as well not a part of the new earth, the new world that is coming, the paradise on earth. You won't be part of it. Everyone that it is to be a part of it has work to do. And for you to know what part and what work needed to be done, you need to be open to the truth. You need to be open to knowledge. You need to pray for guidance from the ancestors. You need to pray that Ifa leads you to the truth. So, my people, please let us wake up to this fact that the end of the world, as they say in the scriptures, is the end to this present cycle, while another world begins, a better one, a new one, a one full of love, the golden age. Yes, after this darkness age comes a golden age, full of love, full of light. But there is work to be done. You need to liberate yourself spiritually and physically from this darkness, from this matrix system. That is the test that you need to pass in order to be part of this new earth. So, my people, it's nice being with you all, and I hope you all can really meditate on these things that I have said. Go through it on your own, within. Think about it, meditate about it. So I invite you all to join the movement, so that we can all walk this awakening journey. We can all awaken together, and we can all ascend together to the new earth that is coming. So I implore you all to please like and share this message, this video, and please subscribe to my social media handles, especially here on TikTok, where I share most of my messages. And please, this foundation, my NGO, seriously needs support. I need to get resources. I need to get tools and everything in order to keep this work going, so that I can keep sharing these knowledges and these truths with you guys. I need to arrange some things. I need to do some things. There are so many things I'm supposed to be doing, to be reaching out to you people for better understanding and better knowledge, sharing more knowledge. but I'm still tied up because I am limited to resources. Like my phones, the phones I'm using, they don't have enough memory, and even the camera, like you can see, is not that clear and all that. So I need to get better tools and arrange for better resources and all that. Also, like the artistic aspects, there are some things that I'm supposed to be doing artistically, sharing with you guys, but because I'm still limited to resources, I can't do all this. And even data alone, you can imagine how much I spend on data doing all these videos, creating all these contents and posting it online. That is why you see I've not been doing too much. I've not been posting too much lately because I'm very limited to resources. So as much as those that would like to be part of this great journey, please support my channel, support my movement, so that we can all grow together. And even there are so many places here in West Africa that I'm trying to compile together the documentary. These places are where they refer to in the scriptures in the Bible as the Jerusalem temple. These places consist together, all these places together is where the Bible refers to as Jerusalem, and the temple, Zion, Mount Zion. So I'm working on comprising all this together in a documentary to present to you guys, to present the true Jerusalem, the true Mount Zion to you guys. So I have few months to round up this research so that I can bring it out, I can produce it in a documentary to present to you guys. But recently too, I had to pause on the movement, on the research, because also due to limited resources. So please guys, if you would like to support this movement, this foundation, so that I can better serve my people well, you, my people, my loved ones, please support this channel financially. So you can reach out to me, message me if your spirit leads you to support this channel, if you feel like supporting, please reach out to me, let me know, so that I can give you details on how to support this channel. Peace and love. Hope to see you guys soon. Continue to grow in knowledge, continue to seek knowledge, and continue to live organically, live naturally. Eat natural and organic foods. Drink natural drinks, organic drinks. Things that are made, that are produced from the earth, from the natural earth, not factory-made foods and drinks. And all these things that you apply on your body, creams and all that, strictly natural. Love you all.